Law of the Game, 2017, you're the push. Sons of Life, 4 Tribes, Static Addicts, Yahoo. Eagle Productions, baby. Strap up the back up. Now that we got your attention, fear God and keep His commandments. No man knows the day or hour, so let's get some understanding. The Holy Bible is the truth. To follow Christ is the plan. Anything else that you saying is just the doctrines of man. Now that we got your attention, fear God and keep His commandments. No man knows the day or hour, so let's get some understanding. The Holy Bible is the truth. To follow Christ is the plan. Anything else that you saying is just the doctrines of man. 800,000 and every other call it be Maccabbees. Don't take the genius, y'all. I know the devil after me. 4 Tribes, Static Addicts, something like my family. I heard they turning up, but I was a warming up before I time it was me. I took an oath in my yard. It's 5 grips on my ear if I don't finish my job. I'm overdosing on the Holy Ghost, inspired by that Holy Ghost. The law of faith for speaking the truth. You know I never boast. Pressure either great you break what you can handle. You're beefing over streets, but not the killer of Orlando. It's thick skin, never emotional, cause it's the war we in. Mashiach in his throne. Yeah, I'm a go. Now that we got your attention, fear God and keep His commandments. No man knows the day or hour, so let's get some understanding. The Holy Bible is the truth. To follow Christ is the plan. Anything else that you saying is just the doctrines of man. Now that we got your attention, fear God and keep His commandments. No man knows the day or hour, so let's get some understanding. The Holy Bible is the truth. To follow Christ is the plan. Anything else that you saying is just the doctrines of man. What's mightier to you in this life, the sword or a pen? Toss up to me, cause they both got my kids stored in a pen. Song of Solomon 1 and 5. Please don't hate me cause I'm black, because Yahweh use my mind, so we speak prophetic fact. Days go fast, the nights go shorter, kids go fast as crops. Nigga can lose his life after he done comply with the crop. History repeats itself. Hear the bloodline of the remnant. Babylon knows for a fact that she on the brink of her ending. Vengeance belongs unto the Most High, and His bombs on the way. Prepare the generations to come for that terrible day. Preach, teach till I'm deceased. 6 feet beneath the street that never made peace until the return of Malak's AD. And that's how we got your attention. Fear God and keep His commandments. No man knows the day or hour, so let's get some understanding. The Holy Bible is the truth. To follow Christ is the plan. Anything else that you saying is just the doctrines of man. Now that we got your attention, fear God and keep His commandments. So let's get some understanding. The Holy Bible is the truth. To follow Christ is the plan. Anything else that you said is just the doctrines of man.
From St. Louis, I guess you could say I'm used to this misery. People get gunned down in the streets, oppressors not guilty. Now who he get gunned down? Cause his skin is light brown. Word around my town. The word is on its way down. Virtue crown, no lay down. Father gave us His promise to crown us. Don't do this honor. No man knows the time or hour. Them to enemies and cowards to anybody who refuse to follow spiritual tip. That hollow always me while I don't preach this gospel. Bloodshed for my people. Babylon about to fall like the leaves that's in this autumn. Your reverend follow. Get your get understanding. For God keep His commandments. Build the verse, build it, building, they killing women and children.
Now that we got your attention, fear God and keep His commandments. No man knows the day or hour, so let's get some understanding. The Holy Bible is the truth. To follow Christ is the plan. Anything else that you saying is just the doctrines of man. Now that we got your attention, fear God and keep His commandments. No man knows the day or hour, so let's get some understanding. The Holy Bible is the truth. To follow Christ is the plan. Anything else that you said is just the doctrines of man.
What up?
Shalom, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
We back up in here. The order of Melchizedek, Memphis, Tennessee, aka Tupelo, Mississippi.
Tupelo.
We in the building.
We back, man.
We back. Hey, it's glad to be back, Hebrew.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Hebrew.
Yes,
Most
sir.
High done watched over us for another week out here in this bad weather, man. He's good. He's better to it than we are to ourselves.
Man, look. Hey, Most High crippled the South.
Crippled it, did.
Hey, he said he was gonna send these judgments up on Babylon, mystery Babylon.
Hey, he showed judging.
Hey, people in Texas without power today. You had people burning furniture. Man, that's unheard of in America.
Hey, one man
They
put
burned
a generator in his house and went to sleep, and it killed him.
Man, there was a daughter and a mother got killed in their car. They let the garage door up. So, carbon monoxide poison.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
that's what happened to that guy and his family, man. He was trying to keep his family warm. He had his wife and 2 kids in the house. I know he died. I don't know. I think the woman and the kids was all right. They're in the hospital, but
yeah,
it was pretty bad.
Yes, sir. But hey, family, we got a good lesson. We're going to do the history of the Maccabees. We're going to pull some stuff up about the Maccabees because this is a history that is almost forgotten.
Hebrew history.
Well, actually, it was whitewashed, but we're going to show you that it was us all along. And we got some good slides, PowerPoints to bring out. And my brother here to my right, this is Willie. We call him Willie, a.k.a. Absalom.
Willie.
And we got my brother, the faithful one, the chosen one, Cortez. And I'm your brother, Mikael J. Israel.
A.K.A. Metathias, baby. Hey, you see how I throw him
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Judah, man.
Yeah.
Judah Maccabbees.
But yeah, man, like my brother said, we're going to bring out some good information on the lineage of the Maccabees. These are our ancestors. These are our real life heroes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a people, we always look everywhere else to find our heroes because we've never been taught our true history of our ancestors. So, man, we're going to bring this out today. We're going to, you know, we want to show our people that we have real life heroes. We don't have to look to Superman and Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk for heroes. We have our own heroes in our own history books. If we'll just get in there and read it and bring this stuff out, man, and it makes you feel good, man.
Right.
It gives you a sense of being. It gives you a sense of pride, and it makes you want to straighten your backbone up, stick your chest out, because it makes you feel good to know that you really have real life heroes in your lineage, and we have the same capabilities today if we just follow these laws, statutes, and commandments and get back to what it is that the Most High have for us to do.
And yeah, this is a segment of Black History Month also. So,
Hebrew history.
Let me say this, like, just to piggyback on what you said, bro. I mean, just think about how they have betrayed us as a people. You know, in school we was taught that they was over there in Africa with the swole bellies with flies flying around them and all that. But not once did we ever hear that there was kings and queens over there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not once did they ever tell us, like, those were the real Jews. You know what I'm saying? The real children of Israel. You know, so the program is started, man, from first grade, if you ask me.
Right. And you right about that, Hebrew, because the thing about it is they didn't want us to have anybody to look to,
right,
to give us some type of pride about who we are. And you know, when you in this captivity, this captivity that we in now is a separate captivity from the one that we'll be discussing today. We're going to be discussing the Grecian captivity. And during this time, there were several different captivities, but we're going to be mainly dealing with the Grecian captivity. We're going to be dealing out of this book right here, the Apocrypha. If you got one, break it out, because that's what we're going to be reading out of mostly today. We're going to bring most of it out of this book, and we're going to be in the 66 in Jude. We're going to start in Jude in the 66, and we're going to bring out a couple of scriptures. We're going to bring out scriptures in Jude chapter 1, 14 through 16, right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna bring that out, and we also gonna be reading out of another book.
No, just 14. My bad.
14.
Yeah.
And we also gonna be reading out of another book, family. But we're gonna use the 66 to be our witness. We're gonna be reading out of the book of Enoch today as well. So just bear with us, and we're gonna bring this thing out as best as the Most High give it to us.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So we're going to, just something to say, go ahead.
No, I was going to tell them, go get your pen and your paper and get your sword, get your Bible out so you can read along with us and see that we're not adding or taking away from the Most High words.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Okay, family, we're going to start off with the book of Jude. There's only one chapter in the book of Jude. So book of Jude, we're going to read verse 14. We got to prove all things through scripture. So we're going to prove that the book of Enoch is real, that Jude is written in these scriptures.
Hey, let me know when you read. If you don't mind, read through 14 through 16.
Okay, my brother want me to read 14 through 16. We're in the book of Jude, chapter 1, 14 through 16. And Enoch, also the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are godly, that are ungodly among them, of all their ungodly deeds, which they were ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. These are murmurers, complainers, walking out their own lust, and their mouth speaketh great swelling words, having men persons in admiration because of the advantage. Okay. So the book of Jude prophesied about the book of Enoch. So what you read in the book of Jude, he's pulling some of that out of the book of Enoch. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Yeah, so we used Jude as a witness because we always like to have two witnesses on our lessons and just about anything. You know, our elders always tell us to always at least have two witnesses. Yes, so our witness is going to be Jude, and the book of Enoch is going to be our witness for the book of Maccabees. So that's what we're going to be dealing with. For you all that have the book of Enoch, I don't know if y'all have this book, but like I said, this is the book we're going to be reading out of, and we're going to be reading from page 70. And 70, a little bit of 71, just a little.
So here, family, here what's happened over the week. Me and this brother was on the phone.
Oh man.
And we was reading. I was reading about woe to the sinners because I was doing a lesson on our own platform of the Ornament Chest that got a Tupelo that we was gonna bring out. So he got in the spirit on me. He said, keep reading. So I kept reading. I'm reading. I said, I'm not tired of reading. Now,
I said, no, don't stop. I said, keep reading.
Yeah, so I kept reading, and lo and behold, the Most High let us stumble upon some information through this brother telling me to keep reading. And y'all, and what I found out, that in the book of Enoch,
bring it up.
It prophesied of the Maccabee period.
It prophesied about the Maccabean revolt.
Yeah, the Maccabean revolt.
It prophesied.
Yeah.
And that's what we're about to read right now. This is our second witness. Come on, Hebrew.
All right, let me read these 4 chapters out there. I'm going to read to them. The first period of the angelic rulers from the destruction of Jerusalem to the return from the captivity. And part 2 is the second period from the time of Cyrus to that of Alexander the Great. Third period from Alexander the Great to the Greco-Syrian domination. In the fourth period from the Greco-Syrian domination to the Maccabean revolt. It was prophesied in Enoch.
Enoch prophesied.
And this was thousands of years before
the Maccabees.
This was written. The Most High showed Enoch this.
Yes.
Right.
He showed it to him. Enoch wrote it down.
Yeah.
He was obedient, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like we doing right now.
Yes,
being obedient.
And man, you see how all this secret stuff is starting to come out now?
It is. It is. What the
He
script,
said,
what the script say
he
in the last
said
days?
he gonna bring us back into remembrance.
In the last days.
Okay, the first period of the angelic rulers from the destruction of Jerusalem to the return from the captivity. This is the first part, the first period. And the shepherds and their associates delivered over those sheep to all the wild beasts to devour them. And each one of them received in his time a definite number, meaning each ruler had a set time from beginning to end of their rulership.
Right.
It was written.
Just like Alexander the Great, I mean to cut you out. His rule was only 5 years. So it was already written that that's all he had. All right, let's go, Hebrew.
It was written by the other in the book how many each one of them destroyed of them. So it was titled, what you can get into, how each one destroyed the other nation. You know how you got the Assyrian, then it came the Babylonian and Egypt and all on. Each one conquered the other to have power.
And then also what it's talking about is when we start reading in Maccabees, you're going to see every time that Judas or one of his brothers went into a war in the scriptures, it gives you a definite number of how many people they actually killed in that particular war, in that particular skirmish. It gives you a number of people in every one, and that's what that scripture talking about. And when we get to Maccabees, you're going to see how every time they went into battle, that book will tell you 10,000 fell, 3,000 fell. Specific numbers. And that's what this scripture is talking about. That's what Enoch talking about.
And also the number of the rulership too.
Right. All right.
And each one slew and destroyed many more than was prescribed. And I began to weep and lament on the account of those sheep. And thus in the vision, I saw that one who wrote, how he wrote down every one that was destroyed by those shepherds day by day, and carried up and laid down and showed actually the whole book to the Lord of the sheep, even everything they had done, and all that each one of them had made away with, and all that they had given over to destruction. And the book was read before the Lord of the sheep, and he took the book from his hand and read it and sealed it and laid it down. Okay, so the second period from the time of Cyrus to Alexander the Great. We in the second period. And forthwith I saw how the shepherds pastured for 12 hours. See what you talking about? Yeah. For 12 hours. And behold, three of those sheep turned back and came and entered and began to build up all that had fallen down of that house. But the wild boars tried to hinder them, but they were not able. So what is talking? Go ahead. I'm gonna take the list.
Go ahead.
So what it's talking about is Judas Maccabbees and his crew was trying to keep and restore the order, but you had a certain set of those Jews that went after the ways of the Gentiles.
That's exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Okay, I lost the spot.
73.
Okay, thank you, brother. And they began again to build as before, and they reared up that tower, and it was named the High Tower.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
So this tower that they're talking about, when we get into the book of Maccabees, it's going to break down this tower that they took over. And when they took over this tower, they fortified it, and they used it as like a high place. Like in war, whoever has the high place in the war usually got an advantage over the people that's in the lower part. And that's what they did. They fortified this tower and they used it against the people of Israel when they came to try to take back the temples and everything. So they used this tower against them, and they even fortified it even more than it already was. And when we get into Maccabees, they're going to speak about that. All right, let's go, Hebrew.
And they began again to place a table before the tower, but all the bread on it was polluted and not pure. You know what that's talking about?
That's talking about when they want to sacrifice to the idol.
Yeah.
They were bringing in place of the clean animals that the Most High had them sacrificing. They started bringing in pigs and swine.
yeah, like you were saying about the tower. Also, this tower also meant altar.
Right.
Right. That's what they were using
They were
for.
bringing it to defile the altar.
Yeah, they would bring in pigs.
Just as it,
Straight disrespect.
just like
deliberate disrespect.
Just like Matthias did when he slew the commissioner, because they offered swine on the Most High's table, on his altar.
Right.
And when they came in, they stopped them from circumcising their boys
On the 8th day.
And then they took the women and they made the women stand up on a wall and tie their kids and hung them around their neck and made the women they tied the baby to the women and hung them off of a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna see when we get over here. You gonna see.
Look, all of this was prophesied in Enoch.
Enoch prophesied.
When we get through reading this, we're gonna go right into the book of the Maccabees.
Bring it out.
And as touching all this, the eyes of the sheep was blinded, so that they saw not, and the eyes of their shepherds likewise. And they delivered them in large numbers to the shepherds for destruction, and they trampled the sheep with their feet and devoured them. And the Lord of the sheep remained unmoved till all the sheep were dispersed over the field and mingled with them.
Okay, hold on. So what this is talking about that section of the Hebrews that gave in to these people.
Mm-hmm.
And they started to mingling with these people, and they took on their customs. So that's what this prophecy is about, what Enoch is talking about now. All right, let's go.
I'm going to read it again for him.
Okay.
And the Lord of the sheep remained unmoved till all the sheep were dispersed over the field and mingled with them, the beasts, and they, the shepherds, did not save them out of the hand of the beast. So the beast is representing, it's talking about Cyrus,
Alexander the Great.
And Alexander the Great. It's talking about these beasts.
And it's talking about, give me 1 second here.
All right.
And it's talking about this other heathen that we're going to talk about. And I got a picture of him on the PowerPoint. This heathen name is give me 1 second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tuvaya, brother. We out of this book of the Enoch here, the complete apocrypha with Enoch and Jasher and Jubilees. We on page 70. We on page 70, brother. If you got that particular book, because you know it's different versions, so I don't know which versions everybody got, but the version we got is the complete apocrypha with Enoch, Jasher, and Jubilees. We on page 70 in that book. If that help you out, Hebrew. Shabbat shalom to you.
Antiochus IV.
Okay.
That was his name.
Right,
Antiochus IV. And like I said, we got a picture of him in the PowerPoint. And he was the one that took over, one of the ones that took over after the reign of Alexander the Great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. And this one who wrote the book carried it and showed it and read it before the Lord of the sheep, and implored him on their account, and besought him on their account, as he showed him all the doings of the shepherds, and gave testimony before him against all the shepherds. And he took the actual book and laid it down beside him and departed. The third period, from Alexander the Great to the Greco-Syrian domination. And I saw till that in this manner 35 shepherds undertook the pasturing of the sheep, and they severely completed their periods as did the first, and others received them into their hands to pasture them for that period, each shepherd in his own period.
Okay, what he's talking about the different rulers that was gonna be over and put into captivity the children of Israel, the house of Israel. Okay, come on, Hebrew.
All right. And after that, I saw in my vision all the birds of heaven
coming. There go them birds.
All right.
What? There go them birds now.
All right. Y'all remember that?
Okay.
And after that, I saw in my vision all the birds of heaven coming. The eagles.
Oh, there you go.
The eagles.
That bird of prey that they love so much.
The vultures, and the kites, and the ravens. But the eagles led all the birds, and they began And they begin to devour those sheep and to pick out their eyes and to devour their flesh.
Okay, hold on, Hebrew. We got to say something
All
on
right,
this.
go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
it said, and the eagle led all of them. Okay, now we talking about the Maccabean revolt right now, and we talking about during the time of Alexander the Great. Okay, let's be clear about that we talking about that. But let us not forget today, who leading the charge in our captivity today? That same eagle.
That eagle.
And all the rest of them follow behind.
They got it stamped on everything.
They got it stamped on everything. On the dollar.
Psalms 83.
Huh?
Psalms 83.
So Enoch prophecies could really be used, and you can apply them to a lot of different captivities. But in this particular one right here, he talked about the Maccabean revolt. But now that eagle still doing the same thing today.
He's still the main character today.
Right.
All right, come on.
And the sheep cried out because their flesh was devoured by the birds. And as for me, I looked and I lamented in my sheep over that shepherd who pastured the sheep. And I saw until those sheep were devoured by the dogs and the eagles and the kites, that they left neither flesh nor skin nor sinew remaining on them, till only their bones stood there. And their bones too fell to the earth, and the sheep became few.
Okay, so he's talking about the number of the house of Israel.
Right.
They begin to diminish because they were killing everybody. And when he say only thing he could see with their bones, this is Enoch's way of telling you that this captivity was bad. It was really bad. Right there where he say, and their bones too fell to the earth, and the sheep became few. And then right there in that same verse, he say, and they left neither flesh, nor skin, nor sinew remaining on them, till only their bones stood there. He telling you that these people were cold-blooded. They were cold-hearted. They didn't have no sympathy. They didn't have no remorse.
Well, you know, in the book of Maccabbees, it said what they did to women that was pregnant.
Yeah.
How they hung them.
We're going to get to it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was just giving it a...
That sounds like the people today, don't it?
Same people. It's the same people.
Right.
All right, let's go, Hebrew.
And I saw until that 23 had undertaken the pasturing and completed in their several periods 58 times. Now we in the fourth period, from the Greco-Syrian domination to the Maccabean revolt. But behold, lambs were born by those white sheep.
Okay, the lambs were born by those white sheep. This the Maccabees. This Mattathias and his sons.
Yeah.
In their bloodline that this is speaking about.
But behold, lambs were born by those white sheep, and they began to open their eyes and see, and to cry to the sheep.
Okay.
Yea, they cried to them, but they did not hearken to what they said to them, but were exceedingly deaf, and their eyes were very exceedingly blind.
Don't you feel like that sometimes?
That's the day too.
Man, don't you feel like that sometimes, Hebrew?
They have eyes, but they cannot see. They have ears, but they cannot hear.
The script say, he that has an ear, let him hear.
He that has an ear, let him hear. That's
so
right.
Mattathias was going to these people telling them, man, we need to do something. We gonna have to stop these people from doing us the way they doing us. Or else we're gonna be no more.
Yeah.
They're gonna wipe us out.
Preach on it, Hebrew.
We got to do something.
Teach on it.
So he going to these people and they won't even listen. You watching these people kill you with this vaccine. Oh, my bad. No. They were killing them with the sword at that time. My bad. You watching these people kill you and slaughter your people. And you still won't listen. I'm trying to give you a way out. I'm trying to help you. But you against me. What you against me for?
Right.
Why you against me? I'm trying to help you.
Because, Hebrew, they love their captivity.
That's why I feel like Mattathias.
They love massa.
How long, you simple ones, shall you love simplicity?
Man, that man said, I'm trying to help. Enoch said he gonna be trying to help them.
Simplicity.
Enoch said he gonna be trying to help these people. And they not even gonna listen to him. Right. They not even gonna be able to see
Kind of like what we go through, huh?
Yeah, you in the midst of a war and you can't even see you being murdered.
What I say all the time when we do elections, this story on repeat.
Yep. It is. Yep. You in a war and you don't even realize you at war.
I don't even know.
These people murdering you like a dog, and you too blind to see it. These people trying to starve you out. You don't even see it. Right. These people trying to take all your resources from you. You can't even see it. Right. You too busy popping and locking.
What they doing with it?
Popping and locking. You can't even see it.
Too busy busting.
Yeah.
Busted. Oh, girl, I think my butt get big.
Yeah.
Busted.
Right. And these folks steady murdering you, trying to starve you out.
How's your tongue gonna bust?
These people over here can't even get water.
Right. Burning their furniture to stay warm.
Did y'all see in Texas where they got them parasites in their water? Y'all ain't seen that?
No, I ain't seen it, Hebrew.
Cause they got that boil water notice on.
You can actually see the parasites floating around in the water.
Well, I didn't see that.
Let's go. Let's stick to the list.
All right, let's go.
I'm finna go off.
They can't drink, take a bath, none of that.
You got to boil it.
Right.
All right.
Go ahead.
6.
No, we're 7.
Okay.
Yea, they cried to them, but they did not hearken to what they said to them, but were exceedingly deaf, and their eyes were exceedingly blind. And I saw in the vision how the ravens flew upon those lambs, and took one of those lambs, and dashed the sheep in pieces, and devoured them. And I saw till the horns grew upon those lambs.
Oh! Now, when you get some horns, you got something to defend yourself with.
Hold your thought. Let me read that again. I want them to hear this part.
Okay.
Hold on. And I saw till the horns grew upon those lambs. Horn represent, according to the scripture, power.
Power.
Go ahead.
Might.
Yeah.
Strength.
Yeah.
Defense.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And the ravens. And the ravens cast down their horns.
I got you. I was reading something on the screen.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right. And I saw till the horns grew upon those lambs, and the ravens cast down their horns. And I saw till there sprouted a great horn of one of those sheep, and their eyes opened.
Come on, Judah Maccabbees.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Judah Maccabbees.
And it looked at them, and their eyes were open, and it cried to the sheep, and the ram saw it, and all ran to it.
Okay, we got somebody gonna stand up with us.
So
we got somebody to fight for us.
So prophetically, speaking of in the captivity, we in, our horn is Christ. Mm-hmm. He's the one gonna lift up the arm.
Make it plain.
Hallelujah.
Or his power.
Hallelujah.
Or he's coming with the what? Rod of iron.
Yes, sir.
With the power and the word in his mouth. Mm-hmm. Okay.
He ain't coming back to the heel when he come back.
No, he's coming back to set the record straight.
Okay.
There's some teeth gonna be missing, limbs severed off.
And you know something else this lesson made me think about, Hebrew.
Yeah.
All this stuff that these people done did to us throughout these captivities. And then I remember when our people was in West Africa and they were being sold into slavery. Mm-hmm. And then I thought about judgment, and I said, I remember when I used to see them little kids on TV with them big old stomachs, mm-hmm. with them flies and stuff flying around them all the time. Mm-hmm. And they would ask us to send them money over there and stuff. And some of us would. But we didn't know then that those were the people that sold us into slavery. They had us thinking them our brothers and our sisters. Yep. Them were the people. And they tell you, Africa sold Africans into slavery. No, Africans sold us into slavery.
So Hebrews.
That's a judgment upon them people that they going through right now.
What's the byword they call us, Mike? Cotton pickers.
Cotters.
Mean cotton pickers.
Yeah. All right, let's go, Hebrew.
And notwithstanding all this, those eagles and vultures and ravens and kites still kept tearing the sheep and swooping down upon them and devouring them. Still, the sheep remained silent, but the rams lamented and cried out. And those ravens fought and battled with it and sought to lay low its horn, but they had no power over it.
Talking about Judah Maccabees.
Yeah, and his boys.
And
the rest of the brethren.
And that's what we finna get into, baby. Bring up that PowerPoint, bro.
Bring up the PowerPoint.
Now it's finna get interesting.
Who you want me to show?
What we said we're gonna start with.
I'm ready for this.
All right, be patient, family, and give it a second with him because we on a. You want me to show this Judah?
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Judah's Maccabees.
That's how they look, family.
That's how our ancestors look.
You see the ram's fur on it, the sheep fur on it. Been kind of died because he's been doing a lot of killing, but.
And let me bring this out right here, Hebrew.
All right.
His name, the name Maccabees, is translated hammer.
Hammer.
It's translated as hammer. That's what the word Maccabees is translated to.
So
hammer.
That horn and that hammer represents power too.
It represents power.
Mm-hmm. And look what that brother got in his hand. Got a hammer.
Here we go. The name of the Maccabees was a personal epithet of Judah, and the later generations were not his direct descendants. One explanation of the name's origin is that it derives from the Aramaic Maccabbees, the hammer, in recognition of Judah's furiosity in battle. Judah Maccabees died in 161 or 160 BC. He defended his people from the invasion of Seleucid King Antiochus IV, preserving the Jews' way of life. Bring that heathen up.
Bring him
the
up.
Sculpture.
The sculpture.
Yeah, bring up that sculpture.
All right, give me a second there.
That's what that heathen look like.
Let me get over there.
Antiochus IV.
I think you talking about this guy here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what he looked like. That's Antiochus IV. That's what that heathen looked like. Look like a devil on him.
Look like some of the ones walking around here in America.
Look like a devil. Look how he got that little wave over here on the side.
Like he was born with some baby hair.
Look at that mug he got. He mean mugging.
Yeah, he looking serious, ain't he? Yeah. But that's what he looked like. This was the guy that Judah's Maccabees had a lot of battles against his armies. Because, they were cowards. They wouldn't come out there and fight themselves. Mm-hmm. They would send other people to go fight their battle. They wouldn't come out there and fight themselves like our people would.
The trip out this would trip me out how they used to try to play them boys. They want to come and try to fight them on the Shabbat.
Yeah, we finna get to it.
Yeah.
We finna get to it. Okay. Mattathias, the son of John, which was the son of Simeon, a priest of the family of Jorib, moved from Jerusalem and settled in Modin. So the bloodline goes from Simeon, John, Mattathias, and his 5 sons, which was John, Simon, Judas, Eliezer, and Jonathan. So what we're doing now is we setting the stage to give you this information about these brothers that came from the father, which was Mattathias. Okay. Judas Maccabees was a Jew and a priest, and a son of the priest Mattathias. He led the revolt against Seleucid Empire, also called Judah Maccabees, fought the Syrian wars, fought in Israel. He was born in 190 BC in Israel. He died in 160 BC in Judea, and he fell in the battle of Elasa against Maccabbees. He led the army of the Maccabees. He led the army of Judah for 5 years. He fought many battles in the wars of the Maccabean revolt against the invasion by the Seleucid King Antiochus IV, preventing the imposition of Hellenism upon Judea and preserving the religion and the way of life of the Jews. John Maccabees was the priest of the Jews and was second in the line behind Judas. Name was John Gaddy. took over after the death of Judas, Alexander Epiphanes made peace with him in 153 or 152 BC. He elected Jonathan as high priest of Jerusalem. Jonathan died of treachery and was succeeded by his brother, Simon. John, the son of the second brother, Simon, was the next in line to lead the people of Judah. Jonathan Aphus was one of the sons of Mattathias and the leader of the Hasmonean dynasty of Judah from 161 to 143 BC. He died in 143 BC in Jordan. He was buried in Israel. He was the nephew of John, the brother of Judas Maccabees. His predecessor was Judas Maccabees, and his successor was Simon Thassi. And that's just a rundown and the bloodline and the way that the dynasty was handled going down through the family, because Judah Maccabees was not the only one. When he was killed in battle, his brothers and his nephew continued to fight, and they were very successful. And that's what we're going to learn as we go through chapter 1 and 2. All right, Hebrew. Whichever one of y'all going to start this out. Maccabees chapter 1.
So we're going to Maccabees chapter 1, family. That's in your Apocrypha. What verse, bro? This book.
Maccabees chapter 1 entirety.
All right. Let's get it. Remember when y'all ready?
Ready. We ready.
You want me to read the first chapter?
No, I got it, bro.
Okay.
First book of the Maccabees, chapter 1.
Speak up, Hebrew.
And it happened after the Alexander, son of Philip, and the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, and smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he resigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, and so much that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and nations, and kings, who became tributary unto him. And after these things, he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. All right. So Alexander resigned 12 years and then died.
See, in the book of Enoch, it was talking about how each king was given time to rule.
Right.
Yeah.
Had to bring that out. Don't forget that.
I was into it if you hadn't picked it up.
Oh, okay.
And also what we need y'all to understand, stay with us in this story. That's why I want to take our time, because what we're doing with this book is we're telling you the story of the Maccabees. So we're going to take our time and we're going to walk it down so that everybody will understand and get a full understanding of what we got going on. They're talking about this king.
Right.
He was Alexander the Great. And when he died, he split his kingdom up amongst all of his generals, which was his friends that he grew up with. When he split his kingdom up, all of them got their own part, and they all put on their own crowns. And you know how that go. You know there was some beef going on.
Right.
You know they wasn't on one accord.
They were gang.
Everybody wanted to be Alexander the Great. So that's where we at right now. And it said the whole world was silent before him. It didn't say a town or a country. It said the whole world was quiet before him. So this man done went basically around the world and conquered whole continents. So the reason why I'm explaining this, because I want you to understand what Mattathias and his son was up against. They weren't just up against one little small army. They was up against a king that had control of the whole world at this time.
Picture them guys, Maccabbees, Maccabbees, going up against AKA United States. And how mighty they military is.
Yeah.
In that aspect, just picture that.
Right.
That's NATO.
Now you see the military might of this country, and that's a mighty might.
Yes,
Right.
Sir.
I'll read for a little while here.
You should.
Yeah, I'll read for a little while. From them came forth a sinful root, Antiochus Epiphanes, son of King Antiochus. He had been a hostage in Rome. He began to reign in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. This the Grecian captivity. Remember we told y'all that.
Yep.
This the Grecian captivity and the Maccabean revolt. And this is where our ancestors stood and held their ground. You know, I was coming up here to do this lesson, and I was looking at those signs where they was talking about the last stand of the Confederate Army down in Boston.
Yeah.
And it made me reflect on this lesson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they glorify their traitors of their so-called beloved country of America. They glorify them in their defeats. So they didn't want us to know about our ancestors, so we're going to glorify them in their victory today.
Hallelujah.
Okay. In those days, certain renegades came out from Israel and misled many. Saying, let us go and make a covenant with the Gentiles around us. For since we separated from them, many disasters have come upon us. This proposal pleased them, and some of the people eagerly went to the king, who authorized them to observe ordinances of the Gentiles.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
See, see, what happened was these are your AKA modern day bootlegs. We talking about them, but I'm trying to get y'all to see them today because this story on repeat. These is what you call Al Sharpton and the guys, the bootlegs,
Right.
making covenant with the heat. See, they made a covenant with Joe Biden when he got in office, and Joe Biden said, I ain't doing nothing for you Negroes. But they still try to make an ordinances with the heathen. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nothing new under the sun. Okay.
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Since you went there, let's talk about the pastor that's getting this money from this 6666 bill.
Oh, you want
to get all they kids, I mean they members vaccinated.
Right.
It's the same bootleg.
Same bootlegs.
It's a brother. What it say?
The birth of the modern day scribe.
It's a this proposal pleased them, and some of the people eagerly went to the king, who authorized them to observe ordinances of the Gentiles.
And they eagerly going up there to get that shot.
Right.
They eagerly going
because
there.
pastor said we gonna take good faith. God said take the shot.
Trust God and take the shot.
That's it. Trust God and take the shot.
But if you trust God, why are you taking the shot?
That's
an oxymoron.
Right.
Okay, here we go. So they built a gymnasium in Jerusalem. Go to the PowerPoint and pull up.
Okay, brother.
I got a heathen on there.
You got a heathen on there?
Yeah, I got a heathen on there that's throwing a disc.
He throwing some discus.
Yeah, he throwing a disc on
hold
there.
on, I missed up.
This is what they wanted to pattern themselves after. They went and built a gymnasium because they wanted to be like the heathen.
They built the gymnasium?
Yeah.
Nope.
It's going to be another one of those white ones.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go. Now, this is who they wanted to pattern themselves after. They went and built themselves a gymnasium in the pattern of the heathen.
And just the way that statue is naked, they was naked playing.
Sure was.
They was naked playing discus.
Sure was. And them heathen was out there just loving it. Just loving it.
And you had some of our Hebrews out there that had licenses, according to the heathen.
Right.
What we read, they was out there butt naked, cheering on with the heathen too.
Sure was.
See, bootlegs.
Wow.
like you said, according to the Gentile customs, and removed the marks of circumcision. Remember, we talked about that a while ago.
Yes, sir.
And abandoned the holy covenant. They joined with the Gentile and sold themselves to do evil. When Antiochus saw that his kingdom was established, he determined to become king of the land of Egypt, in order that he might reign over both kingdoms. He invaded Egypt with a strong force, with chariots and elephants.
Chariots and elephants.
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. I think. Yeah.
There you go.
There it is. He
invaded Egypt with a strong force with chariots and elephants and cavalry and with a large fleet. Look at them. Look at how they on them. They coming down on these people, these little small people. Leave it up there, Hebrew.
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to blow it up.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go. Now look how they coming down on these people with these elephants. You know them elephants were just stomping on them people, man.
What? And where does he even get these elephants from?
They trained them.
Where he get them from?
They got them from them Egyptians.
That came out of India, bro.
Elephants in Africa too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Some of them elephants come out of India too.
They ain't called them African elephants. Them Indian.
No, them African would have. Hey, them African elephants would have attacked them.
Here we go. He engaged King Ptolemy
Yeah.
of Egypt in battle, and Ptolemy turned and fled before him. Look at them. They scared to death.
They running too.
Yeah, they running.
If y'all can see the guys at the bottom of this picture, some running and some trying to still fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Ain't got no more sense than to fight an elephant.
Man, I think I'd have been low running too.
And fled before him, and many were wounded and fell. They captured the fortified cities in the land of Egypt, and he plundered the land of Egypt. After subduing Egypt, Antiochus returned in the 143rd year. He went up against Israel and came to Jerusalem with a strong force. Pull up that other PowerPoint of that heathen. I got him on there again.
You got him on there again?
Yeah.
And who you want me to get that Hebrew?
Antiochus the fourth.
Which one would he be?
I'll show you.
No. I know it ain't him.
There you go.
That's him?
Yeah, that's him.
That's him.
That's what that heathen really look like.
Man, I'll slap that heathen. He trying to rule over me.
Like a woman.
Man, look at that.
That's what that heathen really look like, man. Look at it. Look how big his head
You
is.
think I'm gonna let somebody with some Goldilocks rule over me like looking like that?
Leave that heathen up there.
Look at that.
Leave that heathen up there for a
Look
minute.
at the chin, cuz.
Look at it. Look at them fish lips. Let me be
Look how he dressed. Oh man, hold on, leave him up there for a minute. Let him laugh at it. He went up against Israel and came to Jerusalem with a strong force.
And this Ptolemy?
That's Antiochus the fourth.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
He arrogantly entered the sanctuary and took the golden altar, the lampstands for the light, and all its utensils. I got a PowerPoint for this, Hebrew.
You got a PowerPoint?
Yeah, it's a bunch of gold. You'll see it.
A bunch of gold?
Yeah, it's in the sanctuary.
In the sanctuary?
There you go. Just to give y'all an idea, blow that up, Hebrew. Just to give y'all an idea of kind of what it would have looked like when they ransacked it. I know it's probably not exactly the way it was then, but just trying to give you an idea of what it looked like. He arrogantly entered the sanctuary and took the golden altar, the lampstand for the light, and all its utensils. He took also the table for the bread of the presence, the cups for drink offerings, the bowls, the golden censers, the curtains, the crowns, and the gold decoration on the front of the temple. He stripped it all off. He took the silver and the gold. And the costly vessels. He took also the hidden treasures that he found. Taking them all, he went into his own land. So he done went and plundered all of this gold. Pull it back up, Hebrew. Let me see one more time. Okay.
It's up there.
He went in there and took all this gold, all this stuff that was in there, all the cups, everything that was used in the temple, and he left and took it and went back home with it.
Just took the Most High stuff.
Yeah.
Just took it.
But they gonna get it back.
Yeah. It's prophesied in the book of Joel.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring it back.
Okay.
Bring it right back.
He shed much blood and spoke with great arrogance. See, that's something about that heathen when he get up over you, ain't it?
Boy, he talk bold.
Woo! When that heathen get up over you, boy, he'll talk bold to you.
Who you talking to, Negro?
I like how you die, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Don't talk to me that way, Negro.
I think he should have 6 lashes.
Give him
But
4.
you said they like to be above you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's that bird?
That is.
Raven, the eagle.
Okay.
See, they want to set themselves up over you. You know why? Because they want you to look to them as a god.
Yes, sir.
That's why they want you to call them what? Mouser. They wanted us to put them in the place of the Most High. That's where they want to be. And that's why when you stand up to them and you stand up like a man with some backbone and tell them what you gonna do and what you not gonna do, that's why I make them heathens so mad.
What Hashem the devil do? He wanted to mimic everything
like the Most High.
Like the Most High.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 14.
So, what you think about that? Now, just think about it now. The way they act and the way they wanted us to call them master and this and that. Who that sound like? That were operating through them.
Oh yeah.
Satan.
Oh yeah.
Hashem.
Because the war that we fight is not against flesh and bone.
Yes, sir.
But it's against spirits and principalities in high places.
Yes, sir.
Preach. Okay.
Yes,
Read. Israel mourned deeply in every community.
Mm-hmm.
Rulers and elders groaned. Young women and young men became faint. The beauty of the women faded. Oh! The beauty of the women faded. They started cutting their hair off and dressing like men.
Well, just like when we came, just think about when we was on the west coast of Africa after 70 AD, how beautiful our women was.
Yeah.
Versus when we all went into captivity.
Right.
And came over here, how our women looked through slavery.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
they beauty failed.
They dumb, they ugly them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You best believe them some bad sisters.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look, we see the remnant of these sisters today.
Right.
Okay. I just had to bring that up.
Okay. Because man, you know what? You can look back. Cause man, I remember how beautiful my grandmother was.
Man, my grandmama too.
Man, my grandmother was a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew her genes came from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So her ancestors had to be some beautiful people. And her spirit and her soul was just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that come from upbringing, bro.
Yeah.
That come from being raised right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that we missing now, man. That's why now the younger generation, not to tear them down, because we love y'all. But the thing about it is, look at how you make your appearance. Look how you look.
And you know, I'm glad the brother put it in the chat room, just like he put Tuvaya said Isaiah chapter 3, where the women was haughty in their looks and stuff, but the Most High said, I'm gonna hit them with the scale and the baldness of the head, breaking them down low,
right?
Breaking, like you just read in the Maccabbees. So it's you know.
And instead of a sweet smell, it was a what? A stink.
A stench.
And see then another thing, you know, looking at this thing from the spiritual side.
Mm-hmm.
Now in your mind, you think now all of these sisters wasn't going along with what the heathen said. Some of these sisters was trying to be in the revolt with the Maccabees.
Mm-hmm.
So through their captivity, through their hard times and their hard living, these sisters started to look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's even the land trembled before its inhabitants, and all the house of Jacob was clothed with shame. 2 years later, the king sent to the city of Judah a chief collector of tribute, and he came to Jerusalem with a large force. Deceitfully, he spoke peaceable words to them, and they believed him. But he suddenly fell upon the city, dealt it a severe blow, and destroyed many people of Israel. He plundered the city, burned it with fire, and tore down its houses and the surrounding walls. They took captive the women and children and seized the livestock. They fortified the city of David with a great strong wall, strong towers. and it became their citadel. They stationed their sinful people, men who were renegades. These strengthened their positions. They stored up arms and food, collecting the spoils of Jerusalem. They stored them there and became a great menace. For the citadel became an ambush against the sanctuary, and evil adversaries of Israel at all times. On every side of the sanctuary, they shed innocent blood. They even defiled the sanctuary. Because of them, the residents of Jerusalem fled. She became a dwelling of strangers. She became a stranger to her offspring, and her children forsook her. Her sanctuary became desolate like a desert. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into a reproach, her honor into contempt. Her dishonor now grew as strong as her glory. Her exaltation was turned into mourning. Then the king wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and that all should give up their particular customs. All the Gentiles accepted the command of the king. Many, even from Israel, gladly adopted his religion. They sacrificed to idols and profaned the Sabbath. And the king sent letters by messenger to Jerusalem and to the town of Judah. He directed them to follow customs strange to the land, to forbid burnt offerings and sacrifices and drink offerings in the sanctuary, to profane Sabbaths and festivals, to defile the sanctuary and the priests, to build altars and sacred precincts and shrines for idols, to sacrifice swine and other unclean animals, and to leave their sons uncircumcised. They were to make themselves abominable by everything unclean and profane, so that they will forget the law and change all the ordinances, he added. And whoever does not obey the command of the king shall die.
So that's what they do when they conquer different lands or different people and customs. They make them conform over to their religion. Just like they, listen, just like the way they did it then, did they do it to us when we came over here on these shores by via slave ship?
They sure did. It's just like a dog, Hebrew. You take a dog and put that dog on a chain in the yard. When you let that dog off that chain, that dog only gonna go so far. That same way they did us. See, they kept us in their captivity for so long, and they beat us and dogged us for so long. In our mind, we begin to think that we can't accomplish this. We can't accomplish that. I mean, we can only do this. We can only do that.
That's what the scripture mean, man. That we was hit in the head, or we've been hit with a grievous blow.
Yeah.
A wound, a grievous wound that cannot heal. That's talking about the mental mind state of our people.
Right.
Okay. Sorry about that. Go ahead. Let's put that in there.
Oh, you good? Where we stopped at?
We on 50. Well, 50? We stopped at 50. You on 51.
51.
In the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanded the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people who gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor, meaning the Sabbath. I guess that's what they're saying. Succor. Is that Sabbath?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay. And now the 15th day of the month, Casu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and built the idol altars throughout the cities of Judea and on every side. So just like when they came here, they built up what? Spiritual whorehouses.
Yeah.
On every side, aka churches.
Liquor stores.
All right. And burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they rent, and when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire. So they took the books of the Bible, or the scrolls at the time, and ripped them into pieces.
And burned
them. Ain't no telling how much information of the Most High knowledge he poured out through the prophets and told them, write this in the book.
Right.
Only heaven and the Most High himself gonna have to restore that information.
And they followed the same playbook in this captivity.
Yeah,
they didn't tear it up and burn it. They just told you, if I catch you reading, you gonna die.
You gonna die.
And if you want to hide something from a
Negro,
put it in a book.
Put it in a book.
That's what they say, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go, Hebrew.
And whosoever was found with whosoever was found with any of the book of the testament or any consent of the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put, that they should put him to death.
See now, it's same playbook.
Same playbook.
Yeah.
Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 5 and 20th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God, and at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised.
They hung them by the neck from the mother's neck.
So they caused their children
to be circumcised.
The women that circumcised their children on the 8th day, according to the law,
yeah,
they had them to put on the altar, the idol altars, and burn those women.
And they had them to stand there with their baby around their neck, tied around their neck, and hung their babies.
Does that sound familiar? Because we can pull up some slides right now where they burn women at the stake in America, aka Mississippi.
But Hebrew, what nation of people believe in death by hanging?
The heathens.
The same people. They the same people.
The white Gentiles.
It's the same people, Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, people think that hanging just started in the South. No, it been going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's been going on.
And they hanged the infants about their neck and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confined in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. See, they had sense enough then not to eat unclean.
Yeah.
But see, did. This is the heathen trying to beat what the Most High done put in us out.
Yeah.
And when he thought he succeeded, lo and behold, what it say in the book of Baruch chapter 2, in the land of your captivity, I shall bring you back into remembrance. And look at us.
But even in this captivity, Hebrew, what did they do? They took the man and put him in front of his wife and kids and humiliated him.
But bro,
tied him to a horse and beat the horse, the mule, until they just ripped that man's body apart. So that mama gonna tell that little boy, baby, look, if you want to live, you got to do what Master say. Because Master gonna kill you. So that mama put that fear into that child.
Yeah, of course.
So that child grew up with what? Fear. And that's why our ancestors, I remember my granddad used to say, don't look at that man. Don't look at that white man.
I remember my
I remember that. Yeah. I used to say, why, Daddy? Because he raised me. It was like my daddy. I said, why, Daddy? He said, no, boy, you listen to what I tell you. But that's the way that fear was instilled in them by their ancestors. This same playbook that they did use on these Maccabees, man, they've been using this playbook, man. These the same people. All right, Hebrew.
Okay. Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died, and there was a very great wrath upon Israel. So I'm gonna say this again. This story on repeat. We some of us finna live this, because they gonna try to push this again.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Cause
look at what they're doing now.
What it say in the book of Revelations? I think it's was it chapter 14 or 12 and 14, that Satan came after the woman that bore the man child, and then they came after the remnant of her seed that kept the commandments of God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This coming again.
If you,
So get your mind wrapped around. We gonna see this again.
it's coming back.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pick this up, Hebrew. I'm gonna read for a while. Give you a break.
Okay.
I know it's a lot, but I know this a lot, y'all. But in order for y'all to get the full history of these brothers, I had to implement these chapters into this lesson. We're gonna get through them as speedily as we can, but y'all just bear with us, man. We going somewhere with it. Just kind of hang with us for a little while. In those days, Mattathias, son of John, son of Simeon, a priest of the family of Jeroboam, moved from Jerusalem and settled in Modin. You remember I told y'all that earlier. Remember when I was bringing out the information about it?
The blood, like the family tree.
Right. He had 5 sons. John surnamed Gaddi, Simon called Thassi, Judas called Maccabbees, Eliezer called Avaran, and Jonathan called Aphas. He saw the blasphemies being committed in Judah and Jerusalem and said, Alas,
woe is me is in mind, but go ahead.
Why was I born to see this? The ruin of my people, the ruin of the holy city, and to live there when it was given over to the enemy, the sanctuary given over to the aliens. Her temple has become like a person without honor. Her glorious vessels have been carried into exile. Her infants have been killed in her streets. Her youth by the sword of the foe. What nation has not inherited her palaces and has not seized her spoils? All her adornment has been taken away. No longer free, she has become a slave. And see, our holy place, our beauty, and our glory have been laid to waste. The Gentiles have profaned them. Why should we live any longer?
The Gentiles have profaned it. See, listen.
Defiled it.
See, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Filthied it up.
Listen. We can read in the Old Testament about how these Gentiles, how the Most High gave us laws, statute, commandments, and he told us what? To stay away from the heathen. Mm-hmm. Because why? These Gentiles are nasty.
They're going to profane.
Abominable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And their whole intention. See, they know they end.
Mm-hmm.
See, Esau know his end.
Mm-hmm.
But if he can bring you with him, then that's even better.
Satan knows that Hebrew souls are like Super Bowl trophies.
Right. Okay. And see, our holy place, our beauty, and our glory have been laid waste. The Gentiles have profaned them. Why should we live any longer? Then Mattathias and his sons tore their clothes, put on sackcloth, and mourned greatly. See, that's what they did in those times when they went into mourning. When something was bad, wrong, that's what they did. That was to show the Most High that they're ashamed of what's going on. And really, it's humbling themselves before the Most High. It's basically what they're doing. Okay. Pagan worship refused. The king's officers who were enforcing the apostasy came to the town of Modin to make them offer sacrifice. See, this way I'm finna get good at y'all. Listen to me, family. Many from Israel came to them, and Mattathias and his sons were assembled. Then the king's officers spoke to Mattathias as follows. You are a leader, honored and great in this town, and supported by sons and brothers. Now be the first one to come and do what the king commands, as all the Gentiles and the people of Judah and those that are left in Jerusalem have done. Then you and your sons will be numbered among the friends of the king, and you and your sons will be honored with silver and gold and many gifts. But Mattathias answered and said in a loud voice, even if all the nations that live under the rule of the king obey him and have chosen to obey his commandments, every one of them abandon the religions of their ancestors, I and my sons and my brothers will continue to live by the covenant of our ancestors. The covenant of who?
Abraham,
Isaac and Jacob. Come on with it, Hebrew.
Right.
Far be it from us to desert the law and the ordinances. We would not obey the king's words by turning aside from our religion to the right hand or to the left. When he had finished speaking these words, a Jew came forward in the sight of all to offer sacrifice on the altar of Modin. Hey, watch what Metathiah finna do to him.
Finna get him.
Hey, now I'm gonna show Master. I'll do what Master said.
But look, family.
Oh man,
we need to be this is a very key part of this story.
It is,
and the same spirit that Mattathias got on him,
we got to have it today.
We're gonna have to pray for that same spirit.
We're gonna have to
when stuff get real. I mean, we having fun with the lesson. We doing, you know what I'm saying? We enjoy doing these lessons, but take on the listen. Look, when we read, look at the spirit that was on these brothers, on your ancestors.
And I'm gonna tell you something else, Mike, that you can take from this right here.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody is performing sins against the Most High in your presence, as a child of the Most High, you got to have the zeal to go to that brother and tell that brother. You can't fear. You can't have fear.
Can't have fear.
Because if you watching this brother deliberately sin against the Most High and to profane his ordinances and his laws, I'm not saying you got to be a police,
commandment police,
but you got to have enough zeal and enough backbone to tell that brother, man, you need to repent. You need to repent. Because the thing about it, that's what Mattathias didn't even give him a chance to repent. Mattathias just took him down. And that put me in the mind of Brother B. Lou.
Hey, B. Lou got that spirit on.
Hey, that put me in the mind of Brother B. Lou.
Oh, bro, I beloved brother from Marshall, Missouri up there. Brandon Lewis.
All right, let me go ahead.
But yeah, before you start, listen to this part, fam, because the same spirit that's on these brothers is the same spirit we're gonna have to operate in a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, he said, when he had finished speaking these words, a Jew came forward in the sight of all to offer sacrifice on the altar in Modin, according to the king's command. And another thing, bro, they went out their way to point out that it was a Jew. It was a reason why they pointed out that it was a Jew.
They want to show you that go with them coons.
Yeah. And he said it was a Jew.
Yeah.
And then he said, when Mattathias saw it, he burned with zeal, and his heart was stirred. He gave vent to righteous anger. He ran and killed him on the altar. At the same time, he killed the king's officers who was forcing them to do sacrifice. And he tore down the altar. Thus he burned with zeal for the law, just as Phinehas, what is that?
Talking about
Phinehas.
Just say finesse.
Phinehas did against Zimri, son of Salu.
Yeah.
Then Mattathias cried out in town with a loud voice, saying, let everyone who is zealous for the law and supports the covenants come out with me.
See, just picture that, the Messiah saying that, come follow me and follow my commandments. See, this brother had a spirit on him. I bet that brother was glowing when he said that, bro.
Pull that picture up.
All right.
Pull that PowerPoint up.
All right, hold on, fam. Share screen. Which one?
The one with the family.
One with the family?
Yeah.
The one with the family. No, that ain't it. Nope. Right there.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
That's what you want, right?
Yeah, that's what I want.
All right.
This is Mattathias and his boys.
Right.
See, this is the thing that we want y'all to understand. When you say that brother was glowing, Look at these brothers, man. Look at the shine on these brothers. Look how these brothers look. Them brothers ain't got no fear, man.
Look how they glowing, family. Then you got the menorah right there in front of them.
In the front of them.
Glowing.
Just glowing.
That's how we gonna be.
On fire for the Most High.
Hey, when he come and he lift us up to be called up to be transformed in the twinkling of an eye, that's what we gonna look like.
Yeah, I'm that one with the afro.
Nah, bro.
With the long hair.
Nah, you the one with the meatrio.
Here we go. At that time, many who were seeking righteousness and justice went down to the wilderness to live there.
Hold on. Ain't we seeking justice today?
My brother B. Lou always talking about the wilderness.
Hey,
that brother always speaking about that wilderness, man.
Yeah, don't we always talk about no justice, no peace?
Oh yeah.
But he said, you want, follow. Matter of fact, said, you follow me if you got a zeal for the law. Follow me.
I'm gonna see where your heart at.
Yeah. Oh, yo, let's go keep.
But one thing about it, they knew they couldn't go with him playing no game.
No.
Couldn't go with him playing no game.
See, who did he slew on the altar?
Jew.
His own brother.
His own brother.
And see, that's what's gonna happen to some of these bootlegs when shit get real.
They got to go.
They got to go.
They got to go.
When stuff get real, they got to go.
Cause guess what they gonna do? They gonna be a hindrance to everybody else. They gonna give us away.
And we got a woman that did the same thing named Harriet Tubman. What she do? Oh, you gonna tell? She put him to sleep.
I know I said y'all looked last time, but
you out of here, bro.
But I'm through with that. I'm turning over a new leaf. I want to go with y'all.
No, you can't go with us. We gonna slay you.
Y'all, please don't leave me.
No, we gonna slay you. That's what you finna go to sleep for a long time.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead.
At that time, many who were seeking righteousness and justice went down to the wilderness to live. They, their sons, their wives, and their livestock, because trouble pressed heavily upon them. And it was reported to the king's officers and to the troops in Jerusalem, the city of David, that those who had rejected the king's command had gone down to the hiding places in the wilderness. Many pursued them and overtook them. They encamped opposite them and prepared for battle against them on the Sabbath day.
Mm-hmm.
They picked the Sabbath day on purpose, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Cortez? They picked the Sabbath day on purpose to go down there and fight against them, didn't they?
Yes, sir.
They picked the Sabbath day on purpose to go down. Why they do that, Hebrew?
Because they knew they wasn't going to bother them on Sabbath.
They knew they wasn't going to fight back, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you got to be cold-hearted to kill some people that ain't even fighting back.
Well, they did it.
That ain't going to last long, though, because they're going to get tired of it. But that was a smart tactic, though, because they know that they honored and sanctified that specific day because it was the Shabbat.
Uh-huh.
And they knew that they were going to keep it to the best of their ability.
They're going to keep the law to the letter.
Right, to the letter.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. And they knew that.
And they knew that.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing about the heathen. They like to strike when you're vulnerable.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And they went down to the wilderness. Let me see.
Yeah, 33. Well, Smooth, pick it up 33, give bro a break.
Yeah, 33.
Chapter 2.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
All right. They pursued after them a great number, and having overtaken them, but they camped against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day. All right. And they said unto them, let that which ye have done hitherto suffice, come forth and do according to the commandments of the king, and ye shall live. But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment to profane the Sabbath day. So then they gave them the battle with all speed. Howbeit, they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the places where they lay hid, but said, let us die, all in our, how you say that?
In our innocence.
Innocence. Heaven and earth shall testify for us that ye put us to death wrongfully.
Them heathen don't care nothing about that.
Yeah.
They don't care nothing. So you ain't gonna fight back.
What the Most High say in the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 15? The innocent blood cried out to me. So them Hebrews' blood been crying out to this day.
Yeah, they still crying out.
And they go to him every day complaining.
Every day complaining to the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Right.
How long, O Lord, shall you avenge us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry, bro.
All right, 38. So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle,
Well, that's cold blood.
to the number of 1,000 people.
Now there go again what we were talking about in Enoch, where they were giving you a specific number. Yeah. Enoch prophesied this. He prophesied, and he was telling y'all, they even gonna tell you down to the number. And that's exactly what they doing. We just just bring up the point about our witness.
So the Most High giving prophecy unto Enoch about a certain number. So these people was predestined or ordained to be slaughtered.
All
our lives are already predestined.
Predestinated.
Yes, sir. You got a born day,
and you got a death day,
and you got an expiration day.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. Verse 39. Now when Mattathias and his friends understood thereof, they mourned for them right sore. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth. At that time, therefore, they decreed, saying, whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against him. Neither will we die all, as our brethren that were murdered in the secret places.
Okay, so
they taking a stand.
So what they saying is, we know. So now we know how savage this heathen is.
Mm-hmm.
We know that we are fighting against a savage dog. He'll have no morals. He don't have no compassion. He got no regard for the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So if we continue to not fight back on the Sabbath, they're gonna kill us all. So we're gonna make a vow today that no matter what day these heathen come to fight us, we're gonna hold up. And that's the decree that they made. And this is the beginning of the wars and the revolt of the Maccabees. All right, read on, Hebrew.
All right, 42. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who were mighty men of Israel, even all such as were voluntarily devoted unto the law. Also all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them, and were assay unto them. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger, and wicked men in their wrath. But the rest fled to the heathen for how you say it? Succor.
Okay, hold on right there. Okay, so these Hasidians.
Hold on, bro. They saying we ain't got no sound. Somebody put a 7 up in the room. They saying no sound.
That's the order of Melchizedek.
That's the order.
No sound.
Yeah.
Can anybody hear us?
Okay, they said we clear on that end. Reboot. Somebody said Sister Tange, we get her name jacked up.
Okay, everybody putting 7s in there.
Reboot. I can hear them. So okay, we good.
All right, 45.
Hold on, Hebrew.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so these Hasidians that he's talking about, these were mighty warriors of Israel as well. Now, see, when people speak about these Maccabean revolts, they never talk about these people. But these were Israelites as well. And they fought alongside Mattathias and Judas Maccabees and the rest of his brothers. So these people played a big part in this Maccabean revolt, but they never get their credit. And their names are the Hasidians. So y'all remember these brothers. They are part of Hebrew history too. These brothers fought alongside these Maccabees. I'm talking about side by side, shoulder by shoulder in the trenches.
And they had to be some go-getters.
They had to be some go-getters to fight with these brothers. Yeah, yes, and Judah Maccabees, he kicked it. He messed with these brothers.
Yes, sir.
Because he depended on these brothers at times throughout the scriptures. So y'all remember these brothers, the Hasidians. That's part of Hebrew history. All right, let's go.
45. Then Mattathias and his friend went round about and pulled down the altars. And what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised
Mm-hmm.
valiantly. They pursued also after the proud men, and the work prospered in their hand.
Uh-huh.
So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles.
Uh-huh.
They recovered the law out of the hands of the Gentiles.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead, bro.
And out of the hand of kings. Neither suffered they the sinner of Trump. Now when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength and the time of destruction, and the wrath of indignation. Now therefore, my son, be ye zealous for the law, and give your life for the covenant of your father. Call to remembrance what act our fathers did in their time, so shall ye receive great honor and the everlasting name. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness? Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
Hold on. So Mattathias talking to his children.
Right.
He taught his brother-in-law, they all there.
Mm-hmm.
And he telling them, he said, be zealous for the law.
Mm-hmm. Show him how to keep his
But
name.
did he say
Yeah.
was not Abraham faithful in the time of his?
Yeah,
temptation?
he breaking down all the ancestors.
See, that's like that. See, D-Row did a lesson last night.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Talking about being faithful, how faithful our patriarchs was. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
Being faithful.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta be faithful.
And yeah, because right there he said, remember the deeds of our ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
which they did in their generation,
Mm-hmm.
and you will receive great honor and everlasting name. Was not Abraham found faithful when tested, and it was reckoned unto him as righteousness?
Mm-hmm.
Then he said, Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandments
Kept the commandments
and became Lord of Egypt.
and became Lord of Egypt.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
How you say that word? Phinehas.
Phinehas.
Our
I think it's Phinehas.
Phinehas, our father, in being zealous, fervent obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Jesus for fulfilling.
Joshua.
Oh, my bad.
Well, they say
Mine
Jesus.
say Jesus.
Yeah, I would say Jesus.
Oh,
Let's
is it?
talk about Joshua.
Okay.
Go ahead. Talk about Joshua in the Bible.
All right. For fulfilling the word was made judge in Israel. Caleb for hearing witness before the congregation received the heritage of the land. David for being merciful possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Elias for being zealous. Elijah for being zealous and fervent for the law was taken up into heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Ananias and Azarias and Mishael
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yeah.
by believing were saved out of the flame. Daniel for his innocency was delivered from the mouth of the lion. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worm.
So Mattathias was giving his group, his boys, and his camp a pep rally.
Yeah.
This is a pep rally.
Yeah.
He's hyping them up. You better remember Abraham when we get ready to go down here.
Pre-game talk.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
You better remember how faithful Abraham was when we go down here and fight.
Right.
But see, that's important because when they went into battle, they was outnumbered in certain instances.
Oh yeah, and they needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They needed that reassurance.
They needed that faith.
Right, and they needed to know how he was able to accomplish his feat.
Right. Yeah.
And he telling them and pray. And he gonna tell them and pray before you go into battle. Always pray before you go into battle. And you're gonna notice that because we ain't got too much more to go. But you're gonna notice that as they get ready to go into battle, they always pray before. Because they know where their strength come from.
Yes,
okay, let's go, Hebrew.
all right. Verse 63. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he is returned into dust, and his thought is come to nothing. Wherefore ye, my sons, be vigilant, and shew yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall obtain glory. And behold, I know that your brother Simeon is a man of counsel. Give ear to him always.
So listen to what he got to say, because he's wise. Okay.
he shall be a father unto you. As for Judas Maccabee, he has been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain, and fight the battle of the people. Take also unto you all those observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people. Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandment of the law.
Let me read that right there.
I was just going to say, let me read that one more time.
Read that one more time. Go ahead, bro.
That rule working, boy. Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandments of the law.
So he's saying, recompense. Pay them back for every deed that they done to our people.
Fully.
Give it back to them.
Fully.
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 And keep the law.
Keep the law while you're doing it.
But keep the law. Give it to them like they supposed to get it. But keep the law.
A righteous whooping.
You know what I'm saying?
A righteous buck.
And in the beginning, what he said, when he killed that Jew up on the altar, he said,
that was
in righteous anger.
That was a righteous key.
He said, in righteous anger. Right. So he telling them, recompense the heathen for what they done. But remember now, in everything you do, always be mindful of the law. Because even in battle, that law still stands.
Well, Matthias in that group here, we read about our ancestors. They was worshiping the Most High in spirit and truth right here.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh yeah.
Because the law was written in their what?
In their mind, in their heart. Yeah.
Right.
That's why he told them recompense their heathen fully.
Yeah. But you know what? Today in time, and you can tell somebody, I'm gonna pay me. No, the Lord said you got to forgive and you got to forget. No, recompense that heathen. Fully.
Just like that.
But keep the law.
Just like that church shooting. Them people got killed. They was in there with
we don't hate him.
They was in there with their head bowed praying. We forgive. You don't kill grandma, papa while they were praying.
I'm talking about mortals of the community.
Man, ain't no way, bro.
But we ain't mad at you.
Right.
We love you.
We love you. Just like
man, you better recompense that heathen.
Just like the little boy, the dude, where the heathen went in the wrong apartment and shot him. His brother talking about, can I hug him?
Yeah, please. I wish you didn't have to.
Oh, you talking about Boston Jean?
Yeah, Boston John.
And he begged to hug him.
Yeah. And the judge hugged him too.
Mammy Tammy, the judge.
Yeah.
What is really wrong with
See, that's that coon. Them the ones we're gonna get rid of in a little bit. I'm telling you.
You done shot my brother while he eating a bowl of ice cream chilling.
But see what Matthias is telling his kids, we ain't finna get up on no stand ask to hug nobody.
Exactly.
We gonna recompense them fully. But keep the law.
And ask questions later.
Keep the law. All right, let's go, Hebrew.
Verse 69, let's get it. So be blessed them, and was gathered to his father, and he died in the 140 and 60 year, and his son buried him in the sepulchre of his.
That's 146 BC, y'all. For all y'all that don't know, that's 146 BC. My bad, Hebrew. I apologize for that.
Are you good?
Go ahead.
Him in the sepulchre of his father, and Modin, and all Israel made great lamentation for him.
They mourned for him.
Yes, sir.
He was a great man of honor, but look at the speech and the teaching that he gave his children and his offspring. He was telling them, listen, this is what y'all need to do. Keep them laws, statutes, and commandments. But y'all bring the heat to these heathen. Give them hell on every corner.
Told him how to righteously fulfill his legacy.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a time out for the pause. Look what Auntie said. Oh, what did wife?
What she said? I can't say. Hold on.
We're gonna put it on the screen. Look what she said. Tell her, Willie.
All right,
Auntie, you need to quit, Auntie. You behave.
Let's go.
We'll talk to you in a minute, Auntie. Collect. Auntie, you got snapped in the chat room.
Auntie got that zeal.
Hey, that zeal on here, boy.
All right.
Go ahead.
Chapter 3. Then his son Judas, called Maccabee, rose up in his stead, and all the brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father. And they fought with cheerfulness in the battle of Israel. So he got his people great honor. and put on a breastplate as a giant, and they girt his warlike harness about him. And he made battle, protecting the host with his sword. In his axe he was like a lion, and like a lion, and like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey.
Okay, hold on right there. Now, this is their definition. They're explaining to you the character of Judah Maccabee. Listen what they say. They say, like a giant, he put on his breastplate.
Mm-hmm.
He bound on his armor of war and waged battles, protecting the camp by his sword. He was like a lion in his deeds, like a lion's cub roaring for prey. What they telling you is, he didn't take no prisoners.
Right.
He didn't hold back. When the Most High sent him out to go do something, he went above and beyond what he was called to do.
And he didn't second guess.
Hey, be all you can be.
10 toes down.
In the Most High army.
Yes, sir.
Because that's what he was doing. Mm-hmm. They said that brother put on a breastplate like a giant.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Put his harness on.
You know he didn't have no fear.
No.
Didn't know what fear means.
Right.
All right, let's go, Hebrew.
Put it all on the line. All right. For he pursued the wicked and sought them out and burned up those that vex his people. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear. Him and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand. He grieved also many kings and made Jacob glad with his act.
Okay, he said he made who glad?
Made Jacob.
That's his ancestor.
Yes, sir.
They say he made his ancestor glad.
Yes, sir.
Pull up that PowerPoint of them heathen at war.
I want that bigger pocket for that, man. Cause I'm straight.
I left it at the house, Hebrew.
Okay, well I got it.
Hold on, wait, I'm getting it. Bear with me. So you want the what? Where they were fighting the heathens?
Yeah, where them heathens at? Where them heathens dressed up and they fighting apparel. There you go.
All right.
Now that's what this is what them heathens look like when they dressed up to go to war in that time. Look at that heathen.
That's all.
With his little slow head.
Look like a woman, don't it?
Walk head.
That heathen look like a woman. And then you going up against these mighty giants.
These mighty Hebrews.
I want everybody to get a good look at that. Now pull up them Hebrews in battle.
In battle?
Yeah. In battle array.
They ain't the one with the elephant, is it?
No.
Talking about this dude?
Nah.
I know it ain't this dude. I don't think we got that PowerPoint, Hebrew.
Oh.
That's all we got.
Stop at top. Okay, go. All right, that one will work. You see these Hebrews, but I had another PowerPoint. I had all the Hebrews on there, but that's fine. I probably forgot to send it to my sister. But these is Hebrew men. You can see they black on here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see their color on that. Man, I forgot to send that one. But that's fine. Let's move right along.
Hold on, wait quick. I think she probably sent two of them.
No, I forgot to send it to her.
You forgot to send it to her?
I forgot to send it.
Okay.
It ain't her fault. It's my fault.
Right.
I forgot to send it to her.
You stop sharing?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 9. So that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth.
Who we at, Hebrew?
And received unto him such as were ready to perish. Verse 10.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together in great hosts of Samaria to fight against Israel. Which thing when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him. And so he smote him and slew him. Many also fell down slain. But the rest fled. They running, ain't they?
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore Judas took their spoils, and Apollonius swore also. Therewith he fought all of his life long.
Okay, so he took the sword of this heathen that he was fighting against and fought with it for the rest of his life.
But that's all.
So he killing them with their own sword.
Yeah. Do we know any more our ancestors that took their enemy breastplate and sword and stuff like that? Did King David take Goliath breastplate and sword and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought so.
Right.
You sure right.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did that.
Okay.
You know what I was gonna say?
Who?
I thought you were talking about Nat Turner.
I'm talking about a little bit farther back than that, Hebrew. Pull up that map, Hebrew. Let me show him this map of where these battles was taking place and stuff at. Pull up those maps I got on there.
The map.
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right.
Let
me go out of here. Let me blow it up for you.
Okay.
Here you go, Hebrew.
Okay, if y'all take a look at the maps, you can see where Israel is at on this map, and you can also see where Judah is located on this map. Okay, these wars are taking place in Judah because the enemy has taken over Israel at this time, but the Maccabees is taking a stand in Judah. You see on this map right here where Judah is at? And if you can find Modine on there, I can't hardly see it on here. But a lot of these wars are taking place in this area, down here in Judah. Go to the other map we got on the Hebrew. I think it's a little bit clearer. It's a white map. Yeah, that one. Okay. Now see, this breaks it down a lot more. Okay, you can see where Israel at. You can see where Jerusalem is at. You can see Shiloh. You can see Jericho. You can see Ammon, Moab, Edom, Egypt. You can see all of these different nations of people around us, and you can see us right there in Judah, right there by Beersheba, if you can see it on the map. And then you got the South Sea over here to the right. Most of these wars are taking place in this area down by Judah, Beersheba. This is where the Maccabean revolt was taking place at. And I just wanted to point y'all out and try to give you an idea of where these wars are taking place. It's still in southern Israel, but you're down here in Judah, down close to Egypt. All right, Hebrew.
All right, verse 23. Now when Sirron, a prince of the army of Syria, heard say that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and company of the faithful to go out with him to war, he said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom, for I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him who despise the king's commandment. So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him, and to be avenged of the children of Israel. And when he came near to the going of Beth-horon, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company, who, when they saw the host coming to meet him, and said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so a great multitude?
Go ahead, stop right there.
A great multitude and so strong.
Okay, now y'all remember earlier when Mike brought the point out about that pep talk that he was giving them, and when we was talking about how they was gonna need encouragement in these battles and stuff.
Right.
See, that's where this play a part at.
Yes, sir.
Because right now they're faint at heart. And see, this is where the wisdom of your ancestors can be put into action. Because everything that Mattathias told them, Judas Maccabees is about to tell them the same thing, and he just bringing back to remembrance the thing that his father told him. So the knowledge and the information that we receive from our ancestors, don't forget that stuff, because you're gonna need that. It's gonna come a time that you're gonna need to use it. Mm-hmm. And just like these lessons we do, man, y'all remember the information that we hand out in these lessons that we bring out. through the blessings of the Most High. Because a lot of the stuff that we say is coming from the Ruach. Mm-hmm. And we in the spirit when we talking to y'all in these lessons. And sometimes I can't even hardly remember some of the stuff I done said unless I go back and watch the lesson. But it's because the spirit is moving. So remember these things that we bring now. It's going to be a time that you're going to have to use some of this stuff and bring back to your remembrance to give you encouragement or to get you through a bad day or a hard day when you feel like giving up, when you feel like you can't accomplish your goal or you feel like you can't win this battle. Just like these brothers feeling right here. They got fear in their heart right now. Mm-hmm. But Judah Maccabbees didn't give them some encouragement, but that came from Mattathias, their father, when he was giving them encouraging words and telling them what they need to do.
Just like shout out to the young lion, just like that prayer that he sent us. Man, I've been saying that prayer, man. I'm talking about ever since I got the prayer, the battle ready prayer. And my goal is to learn it verbatim.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I walk up and down the hallway while my rib and my daughter sleep, saying that battle ready prayer. You know what I'm saying? Because that they give you that charge, man. I mean, it picks you up when you're down. You know what I'm saying? When just like he giving them that pep talk, that's what I feel like that battle ready prayer that young lion gave us. That's just like a pep talk. Mm-hmm. Whenever we feeling low. You know what I'm saying? Cause hey, it's gonna come a time, man, when we gonna need it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you gotta endure to the end.
Right. The race don't go to the strong or to the swift.
Right.
But to the one that endures unto the end.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us ain't gonna endure to the end.
I know it.
Gonna give up.
You right, Hebrew.
Hey,
bring it out.
I'm gonna start that back from the top if you don't mind, bro.
Go ahead.
All right. Who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, and said unto Judah, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so a great multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready faint, with fasting all this day? Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And with God of heaven, it is all one, to deliver with a great multitude or a small company. For the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven.
Okay, so what Judah telling them is the Most High don't look at no number.
Right.
The Most High don't look at, okay, it ain't nothing but 15 of y'all, it ain't nothing but 20 of y'all. Right. That ain't what he look at. You can when you doing the will of the Most High and you doing the work of the Most High, don't worry about your numbers.
Right.
Say that again.
Because the power in accomplishing your goal is not gonna come through you anyway.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna come through the power of the Most High.
Hallelujah.
So don't worry about what it look like.
Right.
Hey, if it's just like the Most High tell you, if I tell you that rooster dips snuff, don't you worry about it. You just look up on the wing, it's up under there. I can't use it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
I'm laughing.
But hey,
boy, I'm rubbing off on you.
But the thing about off of that, sometimes like the old folks used to say, if I gotta go, I go by myself. I have to go by myself. Like it's gonna be a time when we can't be with each other. We're gonna have to get his word one by ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we gotta practice, tapping into that with the Most High, becoming one with him. You know what I'm saying? He says, seek and ye shall find.
If my sister
Matthew 21 and 22 says, and all things in prayer, believing and ye shall receive.
Right.
So what's impossible with the Most High?
Ain't nothing impossible.
Ain't nothing.
All things are possible.
All things are
possible. Good point, bro.
Hallelujah. Who I'm at? All right. Verse 19. For the victory of the battle standeth not to the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven. They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us, and our wives and children, and to spoil us. But we fight for our lives and our laws. Wherefore the Lord himself will overthrow them before our face. And as for you, be ye not afraid of them. Now as soon as he had left off speaking, he leaped suddenly upon them, And so Sirron and his host were overthrown before him, and they pursued them from the going down of Beth-horon unto the plain, where we were slain about 800 men of them.
Hold on.
There goes specific,
There go Enoch again, man.
specific number.
So they slew 800, didn't they?
800.
Okay, go ahead.
800 men of them. And the residue fled into the land of the Philistines. Then began the fear of Judas and his brethren, and an exceeding great dread to fall upon the nations round about them. And so much as his fame came unto the king, and all nations talked of the battle of Judah.
Okay, so this is why our ancestor. Okay, this is where he's becoming famous. Okay, they say because of his battles, his greatness has reached the ears of the king at this point. So now he been up under the radar a little bit. You know, he been fighting these little small skirmishes. But now his name and his fame done reached the ears of the king. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all what I would compare the type of fighting style that Judas Maccabees, guerrilla warfare. Just like in Vietnam, when you had the all-powerful United States, thought they was gonna go over there and just annihilate them little people.
Bring it out.
But they got over there, and what they run into?
Guerrilla warfare.
They ran into guerrilla warfare.
Yes, sir.
And they didn't fight the way the United States wanted to fight. The conventional war. And it's just like, even in the Civil War, they had a certain type of way that they wanted to fight. They wanted you to line up on the battlefield, and I'm gonna shoot my cannons at you, and you shoot your cannons at me,
Right.
and whoever killed the most people, that's who wins. But as time went on, the techniques of battle changed. It's just like right now, they don't stand on battlefields like they used to. Now they fly airplanes, they got ships,
drones,
they got drones, But when they went over there to fight in Vietnam, they was used to, okay, we're gonna go in with our tanks. First, we're gonna go in with our planes. We're gonna bomb them. Then once we get them bombed, we're gonna come in with our tanks and our infantry, and we're gonna overwhelm them. And that's what they tried to do. And they weren't doing nothing but wasting bombs because they was all up under the ground. It wasn't even bombing. They weren't killing nobody.
Right.
They was just wasting billions of dollars dropping on top of the ground. And see, what Mattathias and his sons did, they changed the style of warfare on these heathens. These heathens didn't know how to combat this. Because they ain't never fought no people like this before. And especially with the ferocity and the anger and the zeal and the will to just give their life. If you kill me, okay. Man. I'm cool with that. But I'm gonna take 30 of y'all with me.
I'll be scared to go up against somebody that's like that.
Yeah, because and that's the reason why these heathens, that's why when they come up on them in battle, as we go on, you're gonna see when they come up, they all flee. They all turn around and start running. Because they ain't never went up against nobody like this before. They said these people crazy.
Wait till Israel fully wake up.
Oh man.
Just wait.
It's gonna be a beautiful day.
Just watch.
What you got here, bro?
Oh, they want you to sing.
Oh man, whatever. Let's
No,
go,
they
man.
They were saying it in the chat room. Go ahead and for them.
Nah, we good. We trying to bring this lesson out. Hey y'all, we gonna bring this lesson out. I can't sing anyway.
27. Now when King Antiochus heard these things, he was full of indignation. Wherefore he sent and gathered together all the forces of his realm, even a very strong army. He opened also his treasure and gave his soldiers pay for a year, commanding them to be ready whensoever he should need them.
So he paid them up a year so they can be ready. Don't this heathen do the same thing today? Don't he do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep them on standby.
Got them on paying retainer.
Yeah. What they call it? National Guard Reserve.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
Pay them folks all their lives. They might not never go to war, but just in case.
Just in
Hold on,
case.
check this though. What did the orange shirt say? Stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by. Same thing, same place, same playbook.
Okay.
All right, man. Nevertheless, when he saw that money of his treasure failed, and that the tributes in the country were small because of his decisions and plague, which he had brought upon the land and taken away the laws.
Okay, look, let me bring this out.
Go ahead.
Spiritual side. Don't you see how the Most High at work right here, y'all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, this heathen done did all this. He done stole all this gold. He done killed all these people. Right. He done plundered all these countries.
Right.
But when he went up against this small little group of people,
it was a thorn in his side. But guess what though? They had the Most High on their side. So now what the Most High done did, he said, okay, you might have all of me, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take all your money.
Right.
So you can't finance your wars against my people. So now you got to scrape and try to get your little money together from here and from over there. See, that's how the Most High works. See, here, okay, you got 50 million people. Okay, you got 50 million people. What can I do to hinder this heat? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give y'all disease.
Oh, you don't want to pay reparation? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give y'all disease.
Touch their bank, touch their money. That's how you hurt them.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess your economy up.
See, they worship that money more than they worship the Most High.
They don't worship the Most High.
Before
that money has become an idol to them.
Before COVID, it was a push of in the black media grassroots about to push for reparations for our people, right?
Killed it.
So they Bernie Sanders on the political trail said he ain't talking about reparations. He ain't paying it. You had some coons come out saying we don't need reparations. But look how the Most High worked through COVID. You don't want to pay my people? Oh, okay. COVID relief.
I'm gonna crush the whole economy.
Yeah.
But look,
yeah.
It's funny though, and I'm gonna be short.
Yeah.
It's funny that reparations to us is a problem, but if you look and see all the people that the United States pay reparations to, other countries, Holocaust, they get money.
Japan still get money.
Indian reservations, they get money. You know
the
what I'm saying?
Jews, they still get money.
Yeah, even the fake ones getting our money.
But what I'm saying is, look how more blessed some of our people are in the medical field, making all this money now that this heathen got to pay. And look how
$10,000 a day.
And look how people benefiting off just the COVID relief. See, the Most High gonna make you pay one way or the other, and He gonna get it out of blood anyway.
I'm glad you brought that out, Hebrew, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to bring out the spiritual side of that right there. You know, we done discussed the physical, but the spiritual side that is look at the hand the Most High playing in. Now He done bankrupted this heathen. Okay.
So the same thing He finna do now. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You doing fine.
All right. What else? Let me find the spot. All right. 32. So he left Lysias, a nobleman, and one of the blood royal to oversee the affair of the king from the river of Euphrates unto the border of Egypt, and to bring up his son Antiochus until he came again. 34. Moreover, he delivered unto him the half of his forces and the elephants, and gave him charge of all things that he would have done. And
you see, he brought them elephants, don't you?
I'm gonna pull that PowerPoint back.
Yeah, pull that PowerPoint back up.
Wow.
He brought them elephants.
Hold your spot, brother.
Yeah.
And we're gonna read that again. Let me get the elephants back up here.
Man. How that tie into that?
Oh yeah.
Show out there, Most High. All praise.
Let me get these beautiful big old elephants back up here.
When the Most High revealed that to me, I had to get some elephants on. Sister Bashan found that for me. All praise to the Most High.
Shout out to
Sister Bashan.
Sister Bashan.
Yes, sir.
for the PowerPoint presentation.
All right, go ahead.
We'll read 34 one more time.
All right, y'all. They go to elephants. Y'all should see the elephants on your screen. Brothers Cortez, kick it.
Moreover, he delivered unto him the half of his force and the elephant, and gave him charge of all things that he would have done, and also concerning them that dwelt in Judah and Jerusalem, to with that he should send an army against them to destroy and root out the strength of Israel.
Okay, let me bring it. Okay, so this elephant army been successful against everybody else. So every other people that they go up against and they bring the elephants out, this is what they call
the ace in the hole.
The go with all. Yeah. This is what they bring in, the big gun.
Yeah. So
they say, okay, we're gonna stomp out this guerrilla warfare that they got going on. We're gonna bring these elephants out on them. Because this dude right here, he ain't been defeated before.
But see, I'm glad you said that. They brought out the big guns.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't combat guerrilla warfare.
Right.
That's why they dropped those bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Exactly.
Because they knew that they gonna pick up the same fighting tactics them Vietnamese did with that guerrilla warfare. That's why no, we can't do that. Let's just go in there and get the mother of all bombs
and just drop it on that. Look, but they didn't drop it on the people that were fighting them. They dropped it on the population,
on the kids and the women.
But
and guess what?
But we animals and savages. Though.
But listen, not just our blood that's crying out. It's these people, they blood crying out too.
It's a lot of blood crying out to the Most High about them heathens.
Because we animals and savages, though.
Because what he say in the scripture in Isaiah 40, is this the man that shook the earth?
Oh yeah. Hey, bro. Even when we first started out, right here in Maccabees 1, right here it said he gathered a very strong army and ruled the countries and nations of prince. It said that even the earth cried out against the heathen.
The earth cried out.
Even the earth cried out.
Bad boy, the earth crying out against you.
Yeah.
Ooh, you gotta be off. The earth?
The earth cried out.
The earth.
Yeah, got to be more careful.
All
right, let me finish that. Y'all done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Where you at, bro?
35.
Okay, go ahead.
To wit, that he should send an army against them to destroy and root out the strength of Israel and the remnant of Jerusalem, and to take away the memorial from that place, and that he should place strangers in all their quarters, and divide their land by lot. So the king took the half of the forces and that remnant, and departed from Antiochus. His hold on, what page? Give me a second, bear with me. All right. His royal city, the 147th year, 7th year, yeah, being specific again. And having passed the river Euphrates, he went through the high countries. Then Lysias chose Ptolemy, the son of Dormenes and Nicanor and Georgius, mighty men of the king's friend. All right.
Hold on one second. Let me make a correction.
Right.
A while ago I said when the earth cried out. I phrased that wrong. It was in chapter 1, verse 28. He said, even the land trembled for its inhabitants, and all the house of Jacob was clothed with shame.
Okay.
That's the verse that I was talking about.
Okay.
All
right, good clearing up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. 39. And with them he sent 40,000 footmen and 7,000 horsemen to go into the land of Judea and to destroy it as the king commanded. So they went forth with all their power and came and pitched by how you say that? Emmaus in the plain country. And the merchant of the country, hearing the fame of them, took silver and gold very much with servants, and came into the camp to buy the children of Israel for slaves. What?
Let me give you a break, Hebrew. Where you at?
Let me finish this.
Okay.
This one up. All right. For slaves, a power also of Syria and of the land of the Philistines joined themselves unto them. Go ahead, pick it up 42.
Okay, I'm just gonna give you a break. You've been reading for a while. Okay. Now Judas and his brothers saw that misfortunes had increased, and that the forces were encamped in their territory. They also learned what the king had commanded to do to the people to cause their final destruction. But they said to one another, let us restore the ruins of our people and fight for our people and the sanctuary. So the congregation assembled to be ready for battle and to pray and ask for mercy and compassion. Jerusalem was uninhabited like a wilderness. Not one of her children went in or out. The sanctuary was trampled down, and aliens held the citadel, and was a lodging place for the Gentiles. Joy was taken from Jacob. The flute and the harp ceased to play. Then they gathered together and went to Mizpah, opposite Jerusalem, because Israel formerly had a place of prayer in Mizpah. They fasted that day, put on sackcloth and sprinkled ashes on their heads and tore their clothes. Okay, listen, y'all. They getting ready to go into battle.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
They don't went into prayer.
Mm-mm.
They don't rip their clothes
Right.
and cover themselves with ashes.
Yes, sir.
And cover themselves with sackcloth. In the spiritual realm, y'all, when you getting ready and when you know you getting ready to face something, a battle in your life, go into prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Submit yourself before the Most High and go into a fast.
Right. Right.
And build yourself up because you getting ready to face something big in your life.
Right.
I mean, you can't always predict your wars, your spiritual wars. But when you know you got them coming,
right,
you can prepare yourself. And even in the midst of it,
mm-hmm.
you can humble yourself and pray and fast and go into a fast. So, you know, just take notes from what our ancestors did. These brothers knew they were getting ready to go into a battle. They were going to be faced with some hard battles. And they knew where their strength came from. And they cried out to the Most High.
All you got to do is humble and submit yourself. Like, for instance, whenever I'm facing something, you know, regardless, you know, I got bad knees, but regardless of that, sometimes I sacrifice that pain and break these old bad knees down and get on my knees and cry out to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna live in proof that when I do that, he moved. I mean, he moved right
because
there.
You sacrificing, Hebrew.
I mean, it may take. You can ask my real. She was like, "Baby, but why you putting yourself through that?" I'm like, "You don't understand. I gotta do this." You know what I'm saying? Because that's me showing him that I'm gonna what's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna take that pain.
Right.
And
you
sacrificing, right.
Yeah.
I'm inflicting that pain on myself to pay homage to him. You know what I'm saying? To show him that, you know, he is the I am, the great
right.
I am.
And see, and especially, you know, when you start getting old and picking up weight,
right,
it's harder to get up off of your knees.
What you said?
Than it used to be when you were young.
Then if you got two bad ones,
yeah.
So imagine that.
Well, you know.
Oh, y'all crazy.
You don't put on a few.
I tell you what, Facebook, I'm gonna give me some drink shrink. Check me out this summer, baby.
What you gonna get, Smooth? Some drink and shrink?
Shrink the drink.
Shrink the drink.
Drink the shrink.
Drink the shrink. It's drink the shrink. Okay. Call my cousin Cassandra.
Oh, hey, it's a commercial break. Call Cassandra Ruff for your.
Can I read
Drink the shrink?
From my book, because I mean your book,
it's
the same, but yours tells a little different.
Yeah, yours said different.
Yeah, mine make it plainer, but go ahead.
Let me say mine, because I love this verse right here, because it's been a tell on. 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
And that's what they done did. They done whitewashed all the history.
Man.
And that's why we doing this lesson today, y'all.
Right.
This is Hebrew history.
Yes, sir.
We bringing out some real live heroes.
Right.
Some real live Supermans. Mm-hmm. Some real live Incredible Hulks. Some real live Spider-Man.
Real live Black Panther.
Wakanda.
Yes,
we're bringing out real life Hebrew history.
Yes, sir.
And we want this to be used to uplift our brothers and sisters.
Right.
Look at these brothers for encouragement. All right, here we go.
Let me say one more thing. Think about if
I said 3.
We tell our kids
it's gonna be quick.
These type of stories and tell them about these type of people. You know what I'm saying? How that would influence them more to want to be like the Maccabbees instead of want to be like NBA Youngboy, want to be like whoever else.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to give them something.
It ain't just the young folks. It's some 40, 30-year-old heroes want to be like some days on feature.
So do.
But it's up to us to give them that substance.
Man, look, we doing all we do.
That's what I'm saying. And we doing it, so we asking y'all to, man, come on, y'all get on board, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for the kingdom is at hand, man. We got souls on the line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
And the earth is steady getting birth pains.
And right now, what my brother's saying in so many words according to scripture, Jesus said he's gonna make us fishermen of men.
Yes, sir.
But if you go read in the book of Isaiah, what when he turned those fishermen into hunters,
yes, sir,
to hunt you, lawbreakers, It ain't gonna be it's gonna be it ain't gonna be a pretty sight.
Right. You ain't gonna TikTok about that and no challenges.
No, I want to see you TikTok when them fishermen become hunters. I want to see a TikTok challenge because them hunters gonna have a TikTok challenge
with the zeal of Judah Maccabee.
Yeah, that sword across your backside.
We need to make a challenge of reading this word and see how many do that challenge.
We need to get on. We need to get on TikTok and start a challenge.
Oh, for real.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead,
49.
Mm-hmm.
They also brought the vestments of the priesthood and the first fruits and the tithes, and they stirred up the Nazarites who had completed their days, and they cried aloud to heaven, saying, "What shall we do with these? Where shall we take them? Your sanctuary is trampled down and profaned, and your priests mourn in humiliation."
Sorry about that.
And your priests mourn in humiliation. Here the Gentiles are assembled against us to destroy us. You know, this is the prayer.
Mm-hmm.
This is the prayer. So he cried out loud to heaven, saying, "What shall we do with these? Where shall we take them?" So he already claimed victory.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Lord, where you want us to take them to?"
Where you want this killing to go down?
Yeah. He said, "Your sanctuary is trampled down and profaned, and your priests mourn in humiliation. Here the Gentiles are assembled against us to destroy us. You know what they plot against us. How will we be able to withstand them if you do not help us?" Then they sounded the trumpets and gave a loud shout. After this, Judas appointed leaders of the people in charge of thousands and hundreds and fifties and tens, those who were building houses or were about to be married or were planting a vineyard or were faint-hearted. Judah finna tell them, "Hey, y'all stand over there by the tree where them kids at.
Right.
That's where you want me to go?
Cause the men finna be over him."
So basically, that's where Brother Jacob got that from.
Get in the back with the gear.
Hey,
yeah,
let the men go out here and fight. You scared to death, bro?
Yeah.
Get back here with the women and watch.
Listen what he said.
Go ahead.
He said, "Those who were building houses." See, your mind preoccupied.
Mm-hmm.
See, you think about something else. I don't need you right now.
You building the house.
Okay. Or you were about to be married. See, you're gonna be out there worried about your fiance.
Mm-hmm.
You worry about somebody gonna get hope to your fiance while you're out there.
When the Jody done back up.
Yeah. Okay. Or we're planting a vineyard. You know, you thinking about work. You know, you thinking about how you're gonna provide for your family.
That bag.
Yeah, you worry about the bag.
Right.
Hey, or you
faint-hearted. Faithless ones.
He told to go home again. Go home. Hey, y'all go ahead on back where y'all came from.
Right.
We don't need y'all.
Gonna get everybody killed.
According to the law. So again, what Mattathias is telling? Remember the law.
Remember the law, statute, commandments.
He said, remember the law.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so by the law, these men that he's sending back, by law, he got to give them an option. You know, go on back.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can stay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Y'all go on back. He just telling y'all just go on back.
Mm-hmm.
Cause by law, I'm obligated to tell y'all to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He say, then the army marched out and encamped to the south of Emmaus. And Judah said, arm yourselves and be courageous. Be ready early in the morning to fight with these Gentiles who have assembled against us to destroy us in our sanctuary. It is better for us to die in battle. It's better for us to die in battle than to see the misfortunes of our nation and of the sanctuary. But as his will in heaven may be, so shall he do. So Judah said, whatever the Most High will is, just let it be. But before I stand here and watch y'all do my people like this right here, I'm willing to die.
Yeah. what I used to say all last year when we were doing the lesson, cuz. And the die behind this truth.
To the casket drop.
To the casket drop. Because you know what? We shouldn't fear the person that killed the body. Us three, we fear the one that killed the body and the soul.
And the soul.
Hallelujah.
So, therefore, death can only sting once when you live in righteousness.
But family, there's many battles of Judas Maccabees and his brothers.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna leave it up to y'all to read the rest of these scriptures. You know, we basically wanted to bring out some history about our ancestors for Hebrew history, and maybe we'll encourage you to get off in them scripts, man, and read the rest of them battles. It's a lot. We can go on all day reading them battles.
I got a challenge for you. I challenge y'all, if you got a pocket, to find the story of the mother and the 7 sons and read it. Good black history. Good black history.
It is. It's good black history.
The mother and the 7 sons. It's in here. Good.
But those lessons, we stopped on chapter 3. But you go to chapter 4, 5, and 6, and even on into 2nd Maccabees. It's a lot of good black history about our ancestors. Those brothers were some powerful brothers. It's some good uplifting, encouraging stories in there.
You hit that song there.
So y'all go ahead and get in there yourself. Thank y'all for being patient with us. I know for our platform anyway, it was kind of long today, but we really humbled by y'all, you know, listening to us. We don't take it lightly, and we just pray and hope that the Most High was glorified and our listeners were edified.
So same spirit that Matthias Maccabees had, that's zeal for the law. Pray for that zeal. And pray for the faith of Abraham and then the rest of those patriarchs in this hour, because we're going to need it. Because the reason I say that, if you go to Revelation chapter 12, I'm going to start at 13. Well, we'll start at 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knew it that he had it but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, unto her place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out his mouth water as a flood after the woman, meaning the armies, and that he might cause her to be carried away with the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which kept the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. So we're going to have that same zeal, because a lot of us, including myself, I didn't mean to put it like that, it just slipped that way. We might not be able to make it into the wilderness. Yes, we're going to have to be set back and be like Judah Maccabees, battling this heathen and these devils. Mm-hmm. So let that sink in your spirit on this Shabbat and meditate on what this beautiful lesson that my brother brought forth.
Let that sizzle on
your spirit. Yeah. But we're going to bring on a special guest.
I'm going to find out quick.
All right, 40 people, lesson that my brother brought forth.
All right, man. Hold on for a minute, y'all.
But we're going to bring on a special guest. I got you on mute till you catch up. Hold on, y'all, family, and we'll let y'all go.
Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead.
All praise for the Most High, man. It was a great lesson, brothers. I'm going to try to put something in the room here. Also, I just have a couple of announcements I'm gonna bring out. Once again, Purim is next this coming up Friday on the 26th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Let's make sure we have the food, all the food there by 12:30, and so we can get started at 1 p.m. from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. For those who are planning on making it, let's make sure we get all the food there by 12:30. Also, for Passover and unleavened bread, which will be February the 20. No, I'm going March the 28th. That's a Sunday. Let me know. Email us at the Order Melchizedek. The email is at the bottom down, scrolling across the bottom. Let me know. We have a few people want need hotels room. Just let me know. Email us and let us know if you plan on coming, and I'll get you a hotel. We'll get you a great hotel rate. The hotel you'll be staying at is the Home Two Suites in Olive Branch, Mississippi. In case you want to go on and their website and look at the rooms. The rooms usually run over, I think, 100 some dollars. I forget, but we can get a good rate on those rooms. And just let us know. Email us and let me know. That way, I can go ahead on and get I think the more people have, the less it'll cost. Put it that way. So again, that's for March the 28th, and that's for Passover and unleavened bread the first day, and that's on a Sunday, and that will start from 5 to 9, if I'm not mistaken. It could be a little longer than that. So I just wanted to come on and just give those announcements, brothers. So great job, awesome lesson, awesome history lesson on the Maccabees. Most High will be continuing on with the Hebrew history. Next Friday night, I will be teaching alongside with Brother Terrence. And that Sabbath, I'll be finishing out the Hebrew history with the young lion. So with that being said, brother, I'm going to turn it back over to y'all.
Oh, we ain't got nothing to say. Hey, go ahead, Cortez.
I was just gonna say when y'all got done, I was gonna close it out with Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, and then we were gonna follow that with the Lord's Prayer.
All right, y'all want to shout some of the people out?
Oh yeah, hey, I don't know a lot of y'all. I'm on a different platform from the people I know, but James Ford, Shalom Hebrew, Shabbat Shalom. Regina Dolores, Shalom to you, sister.
Collect.
Sister Collect in there showing out in the chat room. We got Psalm 777. How you doing? Francesca Ford, Anaya, Facebook user who ain't got no name.
Miss Bake
in the building. Hold on. Sect of the Nazarenes. That's a young lad, I think. Malaki of Truth, that's Sister Vashawn. What's going on? Brother Corey Yehuda. What's going on? We got I don't want to bitch her name because we always do. But Charles Y'all's wife. Tanya. I missed her name. I'm sorry, sister. I'm still trying to learn it. Who is Sister Tia Yehuda. Shalom. Lisa Israel. Shalom. Robert L. Austin, the head of security.
What up, big bro?
Who else we got up in here? Man, it's so many, y'all. Brother Norris.
That's Lisa Israel.
Lisa Israel. Who else we got up in here? Hold on, y'all. We still scrolling. We want to shout everybody out. Fabian Davis. On Facebook.
That's my brother.
That's who that is.
Yeah, he was stuck in there with aliens.
Oh, Punky.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know who that was. Okay. LJ, shalom to you, brother. And hey, y'all. Hey, that's a lot of comments. Y'all coming in that thing.
Man, all praise to the Most High. We appreciate all the feedback.
Yeah. Shout out to Shamarian Hunter. Shout out to her.
What up, sis? Shamarian.
Shout out to all of the Facebook watchers over here in North Mississippi over here on this end.
Yeah,
We can't see most of y'all.
I think I seen my auntie Laura now. Auntie, how you
Yeah,
doing? She be faithful on.
Yeah, we on this platform, family. We also got another platform. You can find me at Mikael J Israel on Facebook. We do lessons on there, and we post them to the Ornament Channel today. So if you just want to send a friend request, send a friend request. We also on YouTube. It's Michael Ben Israel. We on YouTube too. Also, we the same as the Ornament Channel today. Memphis. We one big family. Those are brothers. Shout out to T Boogie. Shout out to brother. The rest of the group, the elders.
Yes, sir.
So, bro, you can go to kick it with that yeah, scriptures down there.
All right, we're gonna well, we already faced the East, so we ain't got to face it but y'all face the East at home. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13 read, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil." Hallelujah. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And we forgive our debt. We forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty.
Praise the mighty
Praise
God.
the
Praise.
Lord.
Yes,
All
sir.
right,
All
bro, keep
right.
that song.
Easy, so easy. Not yourself now. Take it easy.
All praise is the Most High and His only begotten Son.
Raise your weapon.
Hold on, Zion, we ain't got long.
Raise your weapon.
We win in the end.
One word.
Turn back while it's still time.
And it's
Melchizedek order so you can keep your bribes and paper. Torah is where we labor and anticipate the Savior. Grow wiser in our raising in the nature of our praises. The world worship creations, obedience to the Creator. Marking yourself the depth is you the best that pleasing flesh, concerned with paychecks and spiritually untrained. Isaiah 66 and 4. See, we given to delusions, God. They keep calling our name, but we keep right on what we doing. Bloodline Roy was the highest, steady acting like dogs. So the Abba has turned his face to the east that had a ball. We epitomize lost sheep comatose in his sleep. So the day of wrath gon' creep in the night like a thief. Mama just wanna have fun, daddy can't stay on his feet. Son got his hands on a gun and now he dead in the street. Daughter, nobody tried to teach. Now she showing her teeth. Black bank won't save her soul. We need to hoppers out our hole. Through the pain and the rain, we survive and remain. Sending prayers to the throne from here to Guatemala. It's strange, staying sane, but we got so much to gain. Just hold on, we ain't got long. Kwam Yashua. Through the pain and the rain, we survive and remain. Sending prayers to the throne from here to Guatemala. It's a strange staying sane, but we got so much to gain. Just hold on, we ain't got long. Kwam Yashua. Trying to see a brighter day. Walking through darkness, sending every second, still don't know where his heart is. Trying to obey, but it's okay, cause he a target. They say they got his demons out here trying to start shit. Wrong nigga to go to war with. Pause it, otherwise end up like the falling. So falling, all in any given day, they can be a coffin. And it's a fight that's worth brawling. Walking blind because it's hard and got hard. And then if they knew better, then I bet to keep his charges. Always stuck in the game, another cartridge. Waiting on the next player, yeah, to come and start it. Regardless how lawless and often they call it the off where the lost in and lost we be. I ain't obedience when they offer me. And hope the Lord don't want to slaughter me. Till then look both ways when you cross the street. Through the pain and the rain, we survive and remain. Sending prayers to the throne from here to Guatemala. It's a strange, staying sane, but we got so much to gain. Just hold on, we ain't got long.